Hey everyone, I'm gonna talk about kit loadout today. Here I am out in Little Egypt in Masara at a blacksmith shop. And the reason I'm at a blacksmith shop when I'm doing my loadout is because this is where I want to be when I upgrade weapons. This particular blacksmith, if we go in and talk to him, one thing you're going to notice is he has mercenary discounts, tier 8, tier 6, and tier 3 discounts. And these are really great. So it makes purchasing gear cheaper, it makes engraving cheaper, and it makes upgrading your gear cheaper. So if you're upgrading your gear, 100% get here as soon as you can in the game, and then get yourself leveled up in mercenary ranks. And you do that by killing mercenaries who are higher in rank than you. You go up a tier. So, beyond that, we're going to go into our inventory menu and take a look at the loadout. I'm going to clear this loadout to show you my process of how I go about setting up a loadout for playing in the game. So, when you start the game, you have one loadout, and you can purchase a second for 5,000. As soon as you get 5,000 drachmae, I highly recommend getting that second loadout so that you have two different kits that you can take into action with you. You can see here I have a fire loadout, I have an assassin loadout, I have a warrior loadout, and just purchasing this fourth loadout slot, I am now setting up a hunter loadout. I don't do a lot of hunter related work in the game, so that's why it's coming so far along in the game for me. Here I am at level 61. Um, so when you're setting up a fresh loadout, the way I do it, this is how I do it, so obviously this is what I'm going to recommend. You want to, for the hunter damage, for a hunter loadout, I want to focus on hunter damage. And I've set my icon already. You can cycle through the icons very easily by pushing the button that's indicated in the pop-up modal. So hunter damage, this is the number I am focusing on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start loading up my melee weapons. My bow is, this is Hades' bow. I'm going to use Artemis's bow for my loadout. So you can see that hunter damage went up. If I go back to the Hades bow, we can do a side-by-side comparison. And the Artemis bow, which is equipped, has that plus 19% hunter damage, that plus 14% bow charging speed, the 20% damage with the Predator Shot ability, which I love to do, and the 20% headshot damage, which I have engraved onto this bow because when I am using a bow, I am always trying to aim for the head, as I'm sure you are. So just what I'm going to do is, like, in comparison, looking at other bows, when I'm hovering over, I'm looking at this number down here, this 10,280, and whether or not there's going to be an indicator of an increase or a decrease. And you can see all of these bows would decrease the damage done, the hunter damage done. So I have the right bow selected. We'll start there. Looking at melee weapons, swords, pretty much anything with additional hunter damage percentages is going to increase that number. You see, all of these are not doing anything. So no matter what I equip, it's like where I'm going to start. So there we have an increase in hunter damage. So I'm going to start, that's my first weapon that I'm going to equip, and then I'll go find a second weapon. I know I'm down here, so I'm going to keep on going and just looking for an increase in hunter damage. All right, we'll start there, and then I'll keep going to see if there's a further increase. Great. So I just want to keep trying to increase the number of the hunter damage, and this is the process that we're going to go through for every piece of gear in this loadout. And cool. I've got 2 pieces of gear. I've got a short range. I've got a long range. Now, because this is a kit specifically for ranged fighting and using the bow, I'm not terribly concerned about what these weapons, what these melee weapons are. What I am concerned about is the additional damage that they're going to do, such as that 30% armor penetration, that 15% hunter damage, the 25% crit damage. So what I am going to do is I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to take a look and see if there are any other weapons that increase that hunter damage. And that's a small increase, and it's not one I'm going to consider at the moment. I would rather, in case of emergency, have weapons I can use. That's a big increase. That's a pretty big increase, because when you increase your hunter damage, when you add additional percentages through your armor gear, those are going to compound and going to continue to increase your hunter damage from your base stats. All right. So I have that axe. Let's compare these two. Let's see if there's anything else. All right, so if I was going to change, I would change to this. Let's take a look. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna. So we have a plus 6%. I'm gonna change, because that's an additional percentage of hunter damage, the 16 versus the 15. I don't care about that 18% damage with staffs. Although, given that it's a staff, it will, if someone does attack me and I have it handy, that'll be great. But that plus 6% all damage versus that plus 5% all damage is great. Now, with the Elysian Axe, that 20% damage with Rain of Destruction ability, that is a hunter ability that I just don't use. I haven't gotten it to like work right for me in the game. So I am definitely going to equip this snake staff and move over to my headgear. So I will just go over here and equip this war mask, and then I'm going to continue looking, just scanning to see if there's a quick increase over the hunter damage, and it looks like, whoops, didn't mean to click it. Let's get that loaded. Yeah, looks like that is the piece. And why? Well, it's because that plus 18% hunter damage. It's going to be great. Plus 7% intoxicated duration. So that's interesting, right? So that's poison. So if I were to set my engrave my weapon, that's already engraved with headshot damage. If I were to engrave this, because it's got the 7 seconds intoxication duration, I would probably want to engrave that so that all damage becomes poison damage, if that's available for this headpiece. Each headpiece has, or each piece of gear has its own type of engravings. Great. So now same process, hunter damage there. That's good. Given the high, well, that's even more hunter damage. So we're just want to find that best piece so that we're maximizing our hunter damage. I have a feeling that's going to be it. Legs increase 1,000. That's a good increase. I think that's going to be it. All right, so I'll quickly equip these other pieces here now. Again, same process. Equip. Start with your highest. Find something that increases the damage, and then just quickly scan over everything else. Right here. Boom. There's an increase, and then moving down the line, we're not going to see an increase. So, given our kit, I'm going to change Phobos' skin here so he's not on fire. That just copied in when I created the slot. It copied in from my primary loadout. So that is my hunter damage. This is now my hunter loadout, and when I'm doing ranged attacks, this is what I will use. If someone attacks me, I will quickly switch to my inventory and I will change loadout. I will actually probably change to, if someone's attacking me, I'm going to switch to my, this isn't my primary loadout, it's my first loadout. My primary loadout is my assassin loadout, but this is my fire loadout. Yeah, so if you look at this Agamemnon's helmet, it's a legendary head. It has plus 19% warrior damage, plus 28% fire damage. Ridiculous. If I have the whole set, which I don't yet, I've only got, I think, 3 pieces, only 2 of them equipped right now. But if I had the whole set, that would increase the burning rate by 100%, and people will just, right now, using this kit, people just burn up very quickly. I am really excited to get all these pieces together. But the same process, I'm just looking for things like here, it's 16% warrior damage, that 30% elemental buildup, 12% elemental resistance is great. 16% warrior damage, 18% melee resistance, because this is a melee outfit. That 6%, that 6 seconds burning duration, amazing. 17% warrior damage, amazing, right? 20% fire damage, phenomenal, like light them up. And here you can see, because this Prometheus's Sika, this sword has 28% fire damage, but it doesn't have inherent fire ability. So I engraved it with weapon damage becomes fire damage. And so if I have this equipped, you can see here, we'll come out. This loadout is equipped. Right now, it's the heavy blunt. You can see it's on fire. If I switch to the sword, you see that sword is on fire, right? Lord of Light, guide the way. So we want, I don't want to be trying to use fire ability. I just want it to be innate, so that's what I do. And I'm not really looking at my warrior damage too much there. I just want to like maximize all these like fire, the damage and the buildup, and yeah, it's just such a great outfit. This kit is my assassin kit. So you look at the assassin damage here, 84,000. My range, my hunter damage, 87,000. This is my warrior damage, 98,000, a little bit more, right? Like in battle, I might want to do a rush assassinate with someone, but my loadout for my assassin, 165,000 assassin damage. Like, you're just focusing on those specific things, and this kit is awesome. So I've got the Ancient King's helmet, which is slightly better than the pirate's hood. But because I want to know visually when I'm attacking that that is the outfit I'm in, I've changed it by right-clicking. You can use whatever function gets you to that, and then just going in here and changing the look of it. And I just have it set to match this mercenary breastplate. Because I like the hooded look for an assassin. I mean, that's the classic assassin look in the game, so let's stick to there. I've got this bandit bow because it's got that excellent assassin damage. Now, is there anything else that gives me additional assassin damage? No, it all, like, they all lower it by 3,000, 12,000. It's just ridiculous. That bow is not as important now that I have my hunter kit. So we want the assassin kit to focus on assassin damage. We want my fire kit to focus on fire damage. My warriors, you know, it's self-explanatory. But that's how, like, that's how you use the loadout. That's how you equip yourself, set yourself up for success in the game, and what I do when I'm playing. So that's it. That's the process I use, and I highly recommend adding loadouts as soon as you can. When I added this loadout just now, I only had, I think, 203 drachmae, and it cost me. I think it was 200,000. It might have been 250, but I only had a few thousand drachmae more than what it cost, and so then I immediately went to the blacksmith, sold a bunch of gear, and that blacksmith gives great prices on gear because I ended up getting up to 131,000 and or probably even higher because I then upgraded a bunch of stuff. Great blacksmith to visit. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. All right, so that is it. You can catch me. I've set up a Discord server for the hidden ones. It's going to be focused on fun. I got the link in the description. You can check it out. I think we're going to do some really fun, really cool things in there, and I'm going to continue putting out some videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. I'm not an Assassin's Creed expert. I'm just a guy who loves to play the game and has developed some ideas about and strategies about how to go about doing that. So I'll play, I'll post, and over time we'll all get better at this. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day. Take it easy.